First gator of the trip right there. We're about to see a lot more with this weather though. What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I just wrapped up the Bassmaster Classic Expo. It was so awesome meeting so many of you guys, seeing you bring your daughters out that fish for their high school teams, and just meeting a lot of y'all, and man, it just means so much. Like that's one of my favorite shows. We just got to Santee Cooper, headed out on Sunday, and want to do something different and take you guys through. Man, that gator is not moving. It's getting closer and closer here. I want to take you guys through what my practice looks like, because I haven't done that before. So G and I carpooled today actually, and we have a hobie BOS tournament. There's just under 200 anglers this coming weekend on Santee Cooper, one of my favorite lakes. I haven't done super well on Santee. I've always been consistent, but I don't think I've ever cut a check on Santee. So it consists of two lakes. You've got Moultrie and Marion. Marion has kind of a deeper channel. Moultrie is like a big bowl, but both lakes have a ton of cypress trees. They're swampy. Y'all know I love cypress trees, not just for the aesthetic, but primarily because big bass live here. So just getting on the water for my first day of practice. And I'm gonna kind of take you through what I do in practice, how I kind of break things down, what I'm looking for. So the water is just barely below what it was last year. This is late March. I truly believe that we're gonna kind of miss that prime bite. We missed it last year, and I think we're definitely gonna miss it this year. But right now, water temps are showing 63. They've had a lot of rain, and it looks like the water's coming up. So for me, when I see the water trending up and it's raising just slightly, that's a good sign for this girl, because I love getting back in the thick of things. When the water moves up, those fish move right on with it, it seems like. So I'm sure we're gonna find some fish on beds. We're gonna find some spawners. I think we're gonna find a lot of post spawners. But when I'm practicing, I'm gonna kind of take you guys through what I look for, how I break down water. I don't do a whole lot of fishing, but hopefully y'all can learn a thing or two. So that being said, let's get out and explore this fishery. There's a few scattered islands out here. Looked at Google Earth, and it looked like we had a lot of things to kind of fish, a lot of targets, and that's what I kind of like to look for. When you're fishing cypress trees or big flooded swamps, it really is, it's like grass fishing. Like, you know, not all grass is created equal. You want to try to find that X in the grass, or in this case, you want to try to find those cypress trees that are productive. And when I'm looking for cypress trees this time of year that I think are going to be really, really good, I always like fishing groups of trees, you know, isolated trees that are either along the creek channels or the river channel, those deeper trees where those fish will stage, post and pre-spawn fish will stage. Or if I'm looking for those shallow fish, you want to kind of look for, you want to find the right water depth. You want to find areas that, you know, just little pockets, areas that are closer to deep water, but those fish can pull up and spawn in. So this area has a lot of that. I guess looking at what little charts we have in Google Earth. So that's where we're gonna start. There's a lot of grass out here, just off that creek channel.
What?
There's a lot of grass out here, like just off the creek channel. That would be eelgrass. I'm kind of a fan of eelgrass. So I'm just kind of lifting a trap, just kind of floating it through this eelgrass. Oh gosh, I got smoked twice on a trap. Like, about ripped the rods out of my hand. There's a lot of big carp or catfish here.
They're all big bass, babe.
Those are definitely not bass.
They're all big bass.
I like where your head's at though. Yeah, I think so too. Keep it in the back. Keep it in the back pocket. Got a lot of bites here. Those might be bass right there. Well, yeah, I mean, we got a lot of bites there, but I would hope, I'm hoping we find something better. You know, at least I want to find something better. Good old fried gas station chicken. I mix the ketchup with the barbecue, where they should be if they're utilizing this area. There's a pretty good little grass edge here. So far, I think most of the vegetation, most all of it's just eelgrass. That's all I've been pulling up with the trap. Still fishing just the edge, this kind of this grass edge where it starts to fizzle out a little bit, just lifting it up. 3 bites. They were pretty aggressive, like nearly ripped the rod out of my hands. Sometimes alligator gar or gar will do that, and it'll, I mean, I feel like one out of 3 of those fish should have got hooked for as hard as they hit it. I don't want to write it off, but fished this spot for about a half an hour now. Haven't caught a fish, got a couple bites. I might just kind of make a mental note of this. For me, there's no need to slow down and practice and pick stuff apart. I'm not trying to catch these fish. I'm just trying to get a general idea of what's going on the lake. So this is honestly probably more time than I would normally spend practicing one spot. But again, this spot, just a drain, and fish will utilize drains, ditches, stuff like that, old creek channels, to move up, move down, travel. They're basically like highways. And this particular drain just happened to have a bunch of eelgrass on the sides of it. Looks pretty juicy, but right now I'm not too jacked up about it. I'm gonna keep it in the back of my mind, but I think I'm about ready to move on. Got that one.
You got one?
Yep. It's a decent one. Decent one. Beautiful fish, but decided to make a couple more casts. Oh, very lively. Heading out of this drain and got bit. Might make just a couple more. That one kind of knocked slack in it too, so maybe those other 3 bites I had were bass. This lake really seems like if you hit it right, it's gonna be really, really good. But if they're off, they're freaking off. I wanna go fish those trees off that point. Probably should try a chatterbait through here, huh? So, I mean, maybe they're just not eating the trap that good, but slow rolling a chatterbait. Let me see what I got. Yeah, I got 4 bites. I only caught 1 though. It's a big one, huh?
Yeah, it's not, it's a good one. I'll win if I have 10 of those in the tournament.
Let me see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a really nice one. All right, G caught a pretty nice one. Doesn't think it's spawned yet. Doesn't look like it's spawned. The water temp's a lot cooler than we were kind of expecting it to be, so maybe we will get some good pre-spawn fish here. So I didn't really tell you this, but I'm filming a video today on like practice, like how we practice and break down water.
Okay.
I was just saying that I don't usually slow down because I like to just kind of fish areas fast, and you don't usually slow down a lot either.
No, but I wanted to make sure there were fish here.
Well, we knew there were fish here. Like, that's to say we're getting bit. You know, I caught one. What made you want to slow down there?
Maybe I just wanted to catch a bass.
Valid. We all want to catch a bass, babe. Literally one of my favorite accessories, even in a hobie tournament. So in hobie tournaments, we're actually not allowed to use motors in the tournament, but my Torpedo, along with 2 batteries, it's the best thing you can buy is a second battery, helps me cover a ton of water. My favorite thing about this motor is it tells me literally how many miles I have at this speed. I'm going just under 5 miles an hour. I've got 14 miles on this speed, and that's just 1 battery. So the Torpedo, I love using that in practice just to cover water and break down water. Really, really, really helpful. All right, guys, caught a couple fish there. G caught a pretty decent one, but we are going to move on. Don't want to spend too much time. The way I look at that spot, like the reason it's pros are that a lot of people here key in on cypress trees, and it's not cypress trees, so it may not get that much attention. I didn't get the feeling that it was a extra juicy spot though, but definitely gonna keep it in the back of my mind. Maybe hit it later in the week if I don't find something better, but I think I'm gonna find something a little better. So gonna move on and see what else we can find. If y'all watch my Chickamauga video, foot control steering, standing up, using your shins to move the pedals, best way to sight fish. Scout water, look for beds. Literally is amazing. Getting another couple 3-4 pounders in here. Those ones are grouped up. So there's like 90 inches just in that one little pocket right there. Started getting to an area with a couple of beds, so a couple of cruising fish, couple pairs. They were all pretty nice fish too. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark that spot. But again, I don't really care about catching those fish. I just kind of want to get a feel for what's going down in what area right now. Okay, I just wanted to see one. Just wanted to try to catch one. That was way too easy. So it's a really nice one. Normally I wouldn't, but to be honest, after Chickamauga and not, you know, being able to catch many fish on day 2, just kind of wanted to catch one today. So that one was, those fish are pretty easy. There's a lot of them in here. It's Tuesday, so I can catch a couple on Tuesday and be okay. This area is definitely pretty cool. It's got a lot of character. It's got some reeds, a lot of shallow water. It's got dollar pads. It's got some different types of emergent vegetation. Definitely kind of like this, and we've seen at least 5 or 6 like really nice fish. I kind of like this area so far. This is kind of what I'm most excited about out of this spot. There's a lot of brim up shallow. Haven't seen a ton of beds, but like I said, I came into one area. There's a lot of fish in one little pocket, and they seem to just kind of really like that area. But as you can see, like, super diverse, a lot of life back here, a lot of targets, all shallow water. Big fan of that. So we'll definitely keep this in mind. I'm gonna keep kind of cruising around and looking at this stuff, see what else I can find. Only thing to keep in mind about spots like this, this is like 1.5 feet of water, this whole area. So if they drop the water, which a lot of times they can and they will, they did last year, these fish will no longer be in this area. And there's not, I mean, there's a lot of areas they could pull off to, but it'd be a lot harder to predict that and see where they were gonna go. So if the water drops at all, there's not like any secondary stuff they can just pull right off to. It kind of just goes right out into the creek channel, and that's not the type of fishing I really like to do. So this would be good if it stayed just where it was, or if the water keeps rising, this will get even better. Might be a little shad spawn going on during this tournament. That fish obviously is not going to be there for tournament. I would definitely try to catch it today, just to catch a huge fish on Santee Cooper, but I'm gonna leave it be. There's another boat around the corner, probably gonna find it. Not a great day for scouting, sight fishing, looking for beds. It's super cloudy, so I'm gonna go try to do something else for a little bit. But this area around here, I've seen a lot of quality fish, just kind of cruising shallow. A lot of them were paired up, a couple of them were pretty locked, but overall, like, decent area. I'd probably rate it like a B-. Didn't see so many fish that I just felt super confident about it, but there's definitely some scattered big fish, and there's a couple little areas there pretty congregated. So gonna keep that in the back pocket and see what else is in this big area that this could maybe be just like a milk run spot. Alright, just lost one on that tree. It's the first bite I've got. 3 foot of water, kind of staging trees, it looks like, in the back of this cove. Definitely on a bed right there. Oh, I hit him that time. Got him. Well, caught that little bed fish. Could tell pretty quick that fish is on a bed. Seems like there are a fair amount of fish spawning around here. Okay, so I feel so far it's been pretty obvious fishing. All these little indentations or little pockets along the bank line all have, you know, a fish or two in them, or most of them have fish in them. All of these little cypress trees off of a point, any of the points of the reeds. These just little subtle indentations. You know, I'm getting bit in a lot of that stuff. That's pretty obvious though. What we need to do now is kind of continue to break down water and find water, or find out what those bigger fish are doing. So I've caught a lot of bucks up shallow. Got a couple, you know, seen some really nice fish, but I haven't seen enough of them in this area, at least where I've been so far, to conclude that this could have winning fish. There's a lot of fish here. It seems like it'd be a pretty easy limit, but we're not out here to catch limits. We're out here to win tournaments. So again, I can almost tell right now, you can almost call your shots. There's a little pocket, got some dollar pads in there. Definitely probably gonna be a fish in there. I bet that tree right there has a fish on it. But again, that's just pretty obvious fishing. You know, just typical lakes like this. I mean, you haven't quite found the water that I think has winning fish. Maybe that ditch or maybe that grass along that drain out there, there probably was a little more potential there if it would have slowed down. But so far, we got to keep finding those bigger fish. But that one had another fish with it.
See, that's the color. Got him?
Yes. I was on that stump.
Really?
Yeah. That's a super feisty one.
It's not a tiny one.
No. Definitely post spawn. Oh! What the flip is that?
What is that?
Is that a perch? That's a freaking perch. I didn't know they were here. That's a decent perch. Look at that thing. That's a yellow perch. That's a big one. 12 inches. That's a decent perch.
If we'd have kept everything, we'd have like one hell of a fish fry.
Yeah, we would. I'm very happy for you.
It's not even a tournament. I had a good day of practice. Just, you know what, maybe she never has good days of practice.
Couldn't keep up with that one. No, you don't. That's why I'm very happy for you. Got it that time though. Oh, that's a good one, babe. Babe, that's a pretty good one. Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it twice.
It fights so hard. Okay guys, so wrapping up end of day one practice here. So what I've kind of found is that, you know, there really wasn't anything going on the trees at all. Very random here or there, but not a whole lot going on. There were a few fish up shallow spawning, but honestly, the biggest thing here was finding a very reliable post-spawn bite around this grass. So I spent the whole rest of the day just covering a ton of water, just literally marking areas that had this eel grass and had grass in it, and that, you know, 2 to 5 foot of water. So didn't honestly do a ton of fishing. Like once you kind of figure out what's going on, I don't like to, you know, I don't like to make a lot of casts. I just like to then run and find areas that will suit that pattern so I can run that pattern if that's something I do for the tournament. So I spent the whole rest of the day basically just cruising and marking areas that had what I was looking for in it. So did make a few more casts, caught a couple more fish around the grass. There's definitely something going on there, but that was end of day one. Do something totally different, and yeah, we're gonna take you guys along for that too. Good morning, everybody. Getting kind of a late start. Welcome to day 3, the final day of practice. I didn't take you guys with me yesterday because I only really got on the water for 1 hour and didn't learn anything. I had conference calls all day, so I really just didn't get to practice yesterday. Just me today. G's going and doing his own thing. We like to practice one day together because we help each other get some content. It's more like a work thing, and it's just fun to fish with them one day out of the week. So, but we're going to do our own things today. Real quick, there's going to be 20 mile an hour sustained, 35 mile an hour gust wind tomorrow. They actually move the boat tournaments, big boat tournaments tomorrow to Sunday. So that's going to really change. You got to think about that going into your game plan. So today, I'm actually looking for areas for Sunday that I won't be able to fish tomorrow, but that I'll be able to fish on Sunday. So I'm on the north shore of Moultrie right now on these series of coves that have a lot of vegetation, looking for a good post-spawn bite to build off of what I found on day 1. The second half of today, I'm going to go up in the river on Marion because unlike the rest of the lake, those fish live up there, and when they're done spawning, you know, they're going to hang around those trees, and a lot of that's protected from the wind tomorrow. So if they end up having this tournament, that's going to be a good place to go. So there is not a whole lot of shallow activity. I've seen a couple of pairs and a few fish up shallow, but it's not happening right now. There's probably another wave yet to come, but with the moon and the weather, it ain't happening for us. And plus with the conditions, you're not gonna be sight fishing anyway this weekend. So I'm keying in on a post-spawn bite. That's what I'm trying to build on. I'm gonna go take like a real finessey 1/4 ounce Berkeley spinnerbait and just try to see if I can get bit, fishing kind of fast, just judge the whole area. And then we're gonna go up in the river. So this is the final day of practice. I don't know that I have a real great grip of what's going on in this lake, but I think I'm putting something together slowly. So let's go see if we can build on what we got going today. Pretty good one. Definitely a post spawner. Pretty nice fish though. It's probably 20 incher. That was just taking that 1/4 ounce Berkeley spinnerbait and fishing. All of these little sand points have hay grass on it. Fishing it over the hay grass, just real kind of feathering it over that hay grass, and a nice post spawner. All right, if you guys can see this mat right here, there's a lot of this in this cove. If the weather was a lot warmer, or calling to be a lot warmer for the weekend and sunny, I'd probably try to flip this stuff and get a couple bites, but I'm not even gonna do that because I don't think that bite is gonna be what you need to be doing. I don't think it's gonna be very productive. But if the conditions were sunny, you know, were a lot warmer, I would probably flip some of this stuff just to see if I could get a couple bites here. But the conditions aren't going to call for it for the tournament, so I'm not even going to mess with that. I'm just going to keep going. Okay guys, it's 9:45. I've been here for an hour. I mostly just kind of cruised around, just making note of kind of the areas that have some of this vegetation that I can fish fast. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here. I need some time up in the river because I've only fished up there one time, and I'm going to launch on a new ramp, and it's a dang jungle up there. So by the time I get up there, it'll probably be about 11 o'clock, 11:15, and that'll leave me about 5 hours to 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, about 5 hours to break that down and see if that's worth fishing at all. So fishing in practice pretty fast, not spending a whole lot of time. I feel like when I get in the right area, I'll know. I'm just not feeling it here right now. So we're gonna go up in the river. All right guys, we made it up to the river. Looks really cool up here. There's like 150 boats in the parking lot. I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna just see if we can't get bit up here, get something figured out for a backup plan. Okay guys, I cruised around a little bit more. Just kind of got an overall feel for the area. Marked a couple areas that looked good, that I think might have a couple fish in them. Just the right depth and everything. Looking for that kind of, you know, 3 to 4 foot trees. I think that's where the post spawners are kind of moving in, are kind of holding on to right now. But it's 2:30. I have several miles to get back to the ramp against the current. And I think I'm just gonna get off the water. At this point, my best bet is to try to fish that grass I found on the first day. Caught a lot of fish in that. There's a lot of grass there, a lot of different areas of grass. And that's what I feel most comfortable with. The only problem is, I don't know what the wind, I don't know how bad that wind's gonna be there. But we're gonna find out. If it's that bad and I can't fish it, I'll come back up here. This stuff's gonna be protected. I think if I slowed down and actually fished, I could get bit. I felt like I had kind of a lazy practice the last couple of days. Just had a lot of other stuff going on, and sometimes practice comes last. But that's okay. I'm gonna go get a couple rods rigged. I don't think I'm gonna need much. I'll show you guys what I'm gonna have tied on and get the captain's meeting, get this tournament started. Surprise, it is Saturday and we are at the house. The tournament actually got postponed for the first time in our history of fishing this series. They postponed it today for weather, so kind of a bummer. This means that it is just a one-day tournament tomorrow on Sunday, best 5 fish instead of 2 days. And honestly, the weather's not that bad, but they made the right call for the forecast. It was supposed to be gusted up to 45 miles an hour. They canceled all the boat tournaments. So the Hobie staff made the call to cancel the tournament, and all of us at the house were able to just completely relax today. It was crazy. I actually took the day, put a bunch of new line on reels, got some work done, came out, organized my truck. I mean, check this out. I got all this stuff organized in my travel lockbox here. I mean, I had a pretty big day. Got some gear rigged, and now with the tournament only being one day, I'm still gonna be banking on that grass. G and I are actually gonna end up fishing kind of not the same exact spot, but this out of the same area, and we have a couple of the same spots. So that'll be kind of fun. We very rarely end up fishing the same area, but tomorrow we're going to. There's going to be a lot of boats there probably. The wind is coming out of the north, but it's not very much. It's going to be post front, high pressure. I'm not sure if they're going to bite, but I hope so. So I'm going to show you guys what I have rigged up. And like I said, through all this practice, that was kind of the best thing that I found. If they're not chewing tomorrow in that grass, I can load up, run up river, and hopefully scrap something together. But we're going to put our eggs in that grass basket for tomorrow, and hopefully they start chewing in the morning. So all of us at the house literally took all day, got super rigged up, very organized, put a lot of line on. I'm going to be rolling with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rods, which actually for me is pretty good. Set all these aside. Like I said, got new line on everything. Okay, so I've got, out of those 9 rods, I've got 2 different types of chatterbaits, 2 different weights, a spinnerbait, a lipless crankbait, a jerkbait, a Berkeley General on a 16th ounce weight, a wacky General, and then a weightless General. And that is all we're going to roll with. And on that one of those rods, I can throw top water on too if I need to. I don't think I'm going to have to though. So that is what we've got. I really think I'm going to throw the smaller slobber knocker and that Berkeley General on the 16th ounce weight pretty much all day. But, you know, got to be prepared for everything. So that wraps up our practice. Like I said, crazy that we actually had the day postponed for the wild weather. I mean, they literally never cancel anything. We're always out there and stuff. But I think they made the right call. You know, as much as I love 2-day tournaments, this was the right call. And it's going to be going out tomorrow, swinging big, and burning your spot to the ground. So y'all stay tuned for the tournament recap. Thanks for following along this practice. Let me know if you like this style of video. I've never done like a practice video. So y'all let me know what you think about that, and stay tuned for the tournament.